Visama 2143, Killing Floor 3, The Road 2143, Killing Floor 3, The Road Theomore Games.
Beleza, galera? Mais um vídeo aqui no canal, mais um evento começando aqui do Killing Floor 3. Agora sim, estamos no dia 21 de setembro, 21 de setembro. Faltam 2 dias para a estreia da música da minha querida Maria Natália Gavilotti, Angelito de Quatro Patas. Quero aproveitar para falar aqui sobre os eventos que já cobrimos aqui no canal da PAX West. O que eu mais gostei até agora foi o do vídeo anterior. O, o, o que falaram os atores do Claire 33. Claire 33. Gure 33. Gostei muito mais desse evento do que qualquer outro que cobri até agora, tirando o da Capcom. O da Capcom também foi bom. O da Capcom foi bom. O do Magic foi lá, ok. Não foi lá essas coisas assim que eu esperava, me surpreenderia. Não. O da NASA foi só um evento diferente que eu descobri no canal. Do Ushida, eu achei muito maneiro também. Deixa eu olhar aqui na lista inteira dos eventos, do início ao fim. Eu vou, sem me preocupar pelos. Sem me preocupar pelo falar alguma coisa errada. Vamos lá. Não. Não, esqueci. Do Penny Arcade, achei meio assim o evento, achei meio bosta. Dou um zero para ele. A retrospectiva da Nintendo, achei outro zero. Nick Yoshida, achei legal a história dele, o evento dele, achei muito legal. Magic the Gathering do Spider-Man, achei muito paia porque o evento falou mais do Magic, do Spider-Man, mas sabendo que a edição não é Spider-Man, a edição é da Marvel inteiro. E da NASA achei muito legal, que é um evento diferente do que eu cobri. E da Gearbox achei meio paia. E do Claire School achei muito legal. Então hoje temos o Killing Floor 3 e já chegou aqui a princesa das bachata.
Hola.
E também estava mencionando que se estreia em 2 dias.
Sí.
É tu segunda música favorita, né?
Así es. Así es.
Primeiro, Marquitos, meu amor, minha alma gemela.
Así es.
E segundo, essa.
Así es.
Ai. E te diste cuenta que estaba en vivo, ¿no? Te diste cuenta, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Entraste en silencio.
Para no molestar.
De la puerta hizo ruido esta vez. Parece que lo
Sí, sí,
olías.
sí, hizo ruido.
Mas, como si no hizo tanto, porque parece que lo olía que estaba en vivo, ¿verdad? Lo lia, ¿verdad? Por isso.
Sí.
Então, esse aqui do Killian Floor 3, eu não tenho muita fé nele, não. Então, eu acho que vai ser um evento assim também. Igual os outros que eu acabei de falar que foram. Então, o do Killian Floor dura mais 58 minutos. Amanhã, acho que eu trago algum evento melhor. Certeza eu não tenho. Porque eu acho que eu vou trazer um dos dias. Acho que um dos últimos dias. Pode ser todos os eventos separados de uma vez só, um a um. E por último, eu vou gravar semanalmente o Day 1, Day 2, Day 3, Day 4, até terminar. Por que eu vou fazer assim? Para poder eu dormir nos eventos longos, de 8 horas e pouco, 10 horas e pouco. E vocês podem acompanhar as 8 horas sozinha, sem ronco meu. Não é assim, amor? Então vamos lá pro evento e começar agora.
Yeah. It's my giant face up there. I'm sorry.
I think we're starting.
Are you though? Hello, hello, everyone. It looks like we are getting started. So first of all, thank you everyone for joining us here for our Killing Floor 3 PAX West panel.
Então, painel completo
Appreciate
do
that.
Killian Floor
Thank you.
3.
So thank you once again for joining us. Thank you for playing the game. Thank you for giving us your feedback. And
Pelo menos eu dei meu
as part of that
veredito,
process, we want
dos
to tell
eventos.
you about what's coming next in Killing Floor 3. And that is why this panel's named The Road to More Guns, Gore, and Gadgets. So I'm one of your hosts, Senior Community Manager Jared Creasy, and I will be helping us share that experience with you today. And I am joined by some wonderfully fantastic people like Brian.
Hey guys, I'm Brian Wanya. I'm Tripwire Studio Creative Director. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, I'm Misty Bacchus. I'm the
Entre
lead
as correntes
environment
evento
artist at
aqui,
Tripwire.
já volto, galera. Vou
Hi everyone, I'm Trent
momento no
Mendoza, the
banheiro.
Senior Marketing Manager here at Tripwire. So we're super excited to show you what's coming up in the very near future.
Não deu
So
tempo de ir
many
no
of you have
banheiro antes
already
de
probably
fazer a
seen
live.
our year one
Não
roadmap.
deu tempo.
And that's going to be important here because we're diving a little bit deeper into each of these sections, starting with the rearmament update and what that means for you in the very near future this fall, Season 2 as it comes later this year, and then we will start diving into the never before seen 2026. So
Yeah, there's gonna be spoilers.
people who have followed Tripwire, in our games before, we like making new content for years to come, and Killing Floor 3 is no different on that front. And Brian has promised me he's not going to break any NDAs this time.
I'm breaking every NDA. I'm definitely going to get in trouble with someone. I see there's like marketing people at Tripwire in the back with like blow darts in case I get too out of hand. But yeah, we got a bunch of cool shit we're going to show you guys. So I say we just jump right in.
Yeah, so Brian, why is this image so important to our players?
Yeah, so this is a big one, right? Like you guys had some feedback, and one of the biggest parts of our first content update, the rearmament update, is the ability for any specialist to be any perk, right? So what that means is, in our world, a specialist is essentially a term for the character that you are. You're a member of Nightfall, you're this unique individual who is completely well-equipped to fight Zeds, even though you're barely surviving. You need to work together as a team. And then you have your perk. So what you see here is this is a team full of Mr. Fosters. They all have the different cosmetics that are currently available in game. And then you see that perk icon above them. So currently there is a build at Tripwire that we are iterating and working on where any specialist can pick any perk. You also notice they all have their own unique poses. So when you play the game and you pick Commando, it'll show you a different pose. It'll show you that different base weapon. So that feedback, we have very much heard it. The team has been hard at work at getting it in game. And in fact, let's just show you. It's one thing to show you an image. Let me show you what it looks like to actually do it in game now. So at this point, you're in the stronghold, you've picked the specialist you want to be, you're going to see a new perk icon tab, and you'll be able to basically go down with each perk. It's going to highlight the gadget you're using, the throwable that that perk is assigned with, and then also where you are at with leveling that perk. So I want to say a massive thank you for your guys' feedback. I want to say a massive thank you to the team at Tripwire for working on this. I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy it.
So, Brian, one of the things that came up in even our last panel is how are gadgets going to be handled for these perks?
Yeah, let's go into some detail about that. So if you guys have been playing the game, you know that every perk has a unique gadget that is assigned for it. So this is our Commandos gadget. This one was pretty easy to kind of make sure it's continuing working the same way. Originally, the Commando would reach down, throw it up in the air, and it would start to auto-target enemies and fire upon them. That's still working the same way. So if you love that, you're good. Same goes with the Engineer. This one was pretty straightforward. Now, originally, when we had Imran basically as the engineer, and he has that whole bio or kind of the mechanical suit on him, we basically just popped off the actual weapon of the gadget. So now any specialist that plays with the engineer, when you fire off that, we call it the oh shit button internally, when you're backed up against the kind of walls and need to kill as many Zeds as possible, just mash that button, pull it out, and you'll be able to use it. And then the same goes for the medics, right? Pretty straightforward. We didn't have to do any massive changes on it. But then you get into certain gadgets where you look at like the Firebug, and it becomes a little bit more unique. So our concept team, our design team, they worked really hard with the character art team to basically find a way to make it where the Firebug gadget can now easily be used for anyone. So when you fire off that gadget, basically you're gonna kind of reach, pull up this shield, and deploy it, and it acts exactly the way that it currently acts in game now, but it just has a different visual treatment for that, right? Now, if you guys really enjoy playing as Devlin and you want to use that gadget, it'll still work that way in game now for her, but once again, if you want to be a Commando, you're going to use that gadget. If you're wanting to be Firebug, you're going to use that gadget. Now let's talk a little bit about the Sharpshooter. So I'm a Sharpshooter main. This one was really special to me. And originally when you played it, it was kind of like this forearm mounted version of it. We wanted to attack this process in a creative way, where how would Nightfall handle this challenge? Cordelia, the leader of Nightfall, how would she go to the team and be like, I want any specialist to be able to use any perk? How do we do that? So she would employ Imran. If you look at his background as like an engineer, he likes to tinker, he likes to build things. Those of you that have played the game, you'll probably recognize parts of this gadget. It's actually utilizing the multi-tool. It's utilizing the actual Sharpshooter gadget. So he's kind of MacGyvered it together. Some of you are too young to probably know who MacGyver is. It was an awesome show. Check it out. But now you have that ability, once again, that any specialist could play as a Sharpshooter perk if they'd like to. And this is what that gadget looks like. And we applied that same mindset then to the Ninja as well. One thing that I would like to focus on is these act the exact same way gameplay-wise as they do currently in the game. So there's not a big change to them gameplay-wise. It's just a visual thing. So that you're able to pull it up. You're going to notice, like with the Ninja's gadget here, when this opens, it opens vertically. A lot of these gadgets pop up on your screen for a second, very quick. So we have to do these big animations so that they read really quickly. So this one goes vertical, the Sharpshooter one goes horizontally. So just you have these different VFX. So you have these different animations, all of these different things to help communicate to you as a player what you're doing in the game.
Now, Brian, I'm sure players also want some new cool toys to play with as well.
Oh, I think we've got some stuff. We have some new weapons, right? New guns. This was another big bit of feedback that our team really focused on, and it was creating some real-world guns as well. This is something that we've had planned for a really long time. One of our goals at the beginning of Killing Floor 3 was creating a series of guns that could only be found in Killing Floor 3. And now that we're past the launch, it's introducing some of your favorite guns from the previous games in the series to also introducing brand new guns that have never been in the game before but are still based on real-world weapons. So let's go ahead and just give you a little glimpse of what some of these new guns are. This video was made by a lot of people at Tripwire. In particular, I really want to point out our capture artist, Iago, where he did a great job of presenting our animation and our modeling team's work at showing these new weapons, the new mods, some of the shared mods that are already in game with it, and just what these weapon checks look like, what our reloads look like. They've spent a lot of time and a lot of love at making the best versions of those guns for our game. Right?
So, Brian, you've told me the M14 is probably your favorite new weapon, so let's start there.
Yes. So once again, sharpshooter main, I love the M14. I would love to say there was a bunch of rad data on why we picked the M14. Yes, it was a KF popular one. I'm obsessed with this weapon. It just feels really good to pop Zed's heads with it. I will note, if you guys watch the video, you're going to notice a slightly different sound with headshots in the game. Our audio team has also been very busy. So using this gun, hearing it fire, and then hearing a Zed's head pop, it works. I know a lot of you guys are going to clip this online. So if you see this, here are your kind of notes. Everything that is red in this list are new mods. Anything that is white, those are current mods that are in-game that can be shared with this, all right? So you have everything from like a new type of suppressor that can be used for the M14 that's very much modeled on a real-world gun. But then you have also things like a receiver where that mod allows you to fire this gun in full auto, which is pretty insane.
A little bit of rock and roll.
Yes. Now this, if you're a commando, I think you're going to really enjoy this one. And this was a very much a big community request, is some sort of AK variant. This gun is awesome on full auto. You put the dual mag on there, it has this rad animation that goes with it, and it just makes very quick work of a nice group of Zeds. So commando mains, I think you'll enjoy this one. But also, you can still off perk. So if you're playing as a ninja and you need something to handle a larger group of Zeds, feel free to grab this guy. Okay. I know I said I like the M14 a lot. This thing is friggin' insane. All right, let's just point this out. If you go to the mods that are new and you see you have an extended barrel, very solid. Do you guys see where it says quad barrel? If you watch that video, there's like this weapon check where you kind of drag your thumb across the shells. That quad barrel, if we were to, like, that were a real thing and we were to fire it, I'm pretty sure we would just, like, break our shoulders and wrists and all that. It is insane. One of the things that I really want to point out, too, is our weapon team have done some fantastic, really subtle details here. So this combination of, like, really refined animations, really refined models. One of our weapon artists, Ben, each one of those, like the extended barrel, the standard barrel, and the quad barrel, they all have different engravings on them. So not only are they different barrel lengths and they have different gameplay elements to them, but even just the fidelity in the textures and engravings to them, just a lot of attention has been put to them.
So I do need to do my due diligence and point out all the models you've seen today and will see today are a work in progress, and everything is subject to change as development continues.
Yep.
But having said that, Brian,
Acho que eu devo ter uns 15 dias, no máximo.
Yeah, let's just show them how it works, right? It's one thing to hear us talk about it. Let's just show it to you.
10 a 15 dias de descanso.
Who doesn't like a boomstick?
This
gravar
part
eventos.
gets pretty crazy. Watching Thiago play our game just makes me realize how
Aproximadamente.
skillful he is at the game, because he always ends up making it look like a movie.
Não sei
So
exato.
once again, even there, like you see, that is
Mais ou
Mr.
menos
Foster
isso.
playing
Entre 10 e
as the
15
ninja,
dias
using
de
that
descanso.
gadget and
De eventos.
utilizing those new weapons.
Porque eu tô
So
gravando desde
this
a
is a
Gamescom
combination of all the
direto.
things that we just spoke about, from any specialist playing as any
A
perk,
PS
and then
PSX
utilizing those new
E a
guns.
Gamescom veio logo em sequência, então
Dude, that thing is a headshot machine, so
um
please
time de
enjoy it.
descanso. E ainda mais, evento da PlayStation que temos no dia 17. Hoje estamos no dia 21, então
Once again, Commando, or excuse me, Mr. Foster using the sharpshooter gadget there, using the new AK, and then utilizing a
todos.
variety of different mods on top of it. I love that reload. The animation team did some awesome work checking that one out.
O tempo que eu demorei.
Zeds get popped in half.
Yeah, there's quite a few guns, especially like the dual defender, literally will just like, if you're close
10
enough, it just
minutos.
cuts it in half. Like it just gets shot so hard, it just rips it in two.
Then you get to see the joy of physics.
É, tô rápido.
Awesome.
So, not only are you getting new weapons, not only are you getting perk and character decoupling, we are working on a lot of balance updates for the game. We have over 75 major balance changes coming, including movement combat, adding in, stomping down on crawlers and killing them, which we know was a big favorite from KF2, coming back. We're making adjustments to scopes. Most of this is based on your player feedback, as well as what we're seeing in the wild. Some balance changes won't be waiting so long for the fall update and may be coming in some of our upcoming hot fixes.
We see you grinding on the Vulcan. I know you that are running around in hell on earth just blasting away with that thing.
Get it while you can.
Yeah. And one thing about balance, not everything is nerfing stuff, right? It's about kind of coordinating weapons, skills, mods, things like that, so that like the biomorphic projector right now, it needs a bit of a buff, right, for it to be a more viable thing. So our design team is putting a lot of work and effort into making sure that these things are great options for this, these things are great options for that, and then yeah, like we watch your guys' videos, we read your comments online, and there are certain things that need to be balanced, like the Vulcan, so we're working on those for you.
So instead of turning this into Jared reads the patch notes, because it's literally hundreds of fixes, tons of balance changes, many additions.
Yeah, we had a version of this where I asked for condensed notes, and it was literally just like 60 slides that were just going over like different values of stuff. So we were like, that might not contribute to the Gure part, so there will be a very detailed patch note that will go online that you guys will see, just like we've done with our previous ones.
So let's talk about Season 2.
Okay, so if you guys look back at that roadmap, like we're still in 2025 at this point. We're thinking about the rest of this year. We've got the rearmament. We're not going to talk about dates yet, but the rearmament update, our goal is to get that into your hands as soon as possible. We're playtesting that, we're balancing that, we're bug fixing that, we're really focused on working on that. But also, we've got different teams working on different things, right? So you're gonna hear from Missy here in a little bit, like her team has been really focused on this. Our character art team has been really focused on this. I've been doing some writing for this with our writing team and our design team. Season 2, I'm really excited about. Season 2, Operation Breakout, has got some rad stuff in it for you. So let's go ahead and just start to dig into it. You guys have seen me tease stuff in the past. I cannot keep a secret. Like, we always make the jokes I like to break NDAs, and apparently that's like an announcement, Jared says, when I get to say it.
When you get to say it, yes. When
Yeah.
the rest of us say it, there's usually HR involved.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I like showing you guys cool shit, right? This map, I might be a bit partial to it, is the newest one. I wish you could all play it right now because it's rad. So let's step through the concepts for this. You've seen some of them, but you haven't seen all of them. And the other thing is, we've put this stuff online, but there's even little Easter eggs in here. I've told you guys many a times, I'm a giant comic fan. Matt Enton, our lead writer, he's another comic fan. There are references to like X-Men Days of Future Past in this one image that you guys can kind of see and pick up some kind of details where the narrative is going. And now you're going to see some new concepts that you've never seen before. And one of the things I want to talk to you about concepts are, like, that's in-game. Misty and her team will start blocking these spaces out, and then our lead concept artist, Hakab, will work with our art director, Andrew Kirshner, and basically kind of start to work on, like, how can we set dress this? How can we adjust the tone? You guys apparently like blood and guts and piles of entrails and stuff like that. What's wrong with you? Right? I feel this one is tough. All right. We talked about people soup. What did your team call it?
We actually call it human syrup.
Human syrup. Okay. I used to do makeup effects before I was making games, and we had to look at a lot of really weird pictures and make a lot of dead bodies for stuff. So I'm definitely probably going to get in trouble because of the images I've sent to the team of like people melting in bathtubs and stuff like that, or like, hey, if you watch Silence of the Lambs, at this one moment, you can see this one thing. So we've had very detailed conversations just about this one image, for example.
All before lunch.
Yeah. So those of you that are eating dinner streaming right now, I'm really sorry. We talk about smelling stuff. Like, one thing we noticed when we first started the game and we went to the gun range and we're like, playing with guns to kind of get an idea of how they shoot and these types of things. Like the thing that we noticed the second we walked into the gun range is you smelled it, right? And then for me, when I saw this, I was like, the idea of Horzine like melting prisoners in acid baths to get rid of them after torturing them. Like, Misty, what would that room smell like? So yeah, we got paid to have that conversation, which was kind of weird. So sorry, HR.
So, Misty, why don't you walk us through what it'll take to bring something like prison to life and what goes into that?
Awesome. Okay, so one of the things that we do on the environment art team is we always start with blockouts. It's really important for us to make sure that we're keeping the space well for level design. We want to make sure that the space is playable, fun, and functional. We always start with the basics. As you look here, you're looking at something that's very simple. It's blocked out. This is super important for us to be able to make sure that we are building our worlds in a way that is fun but also functional. If you step through, you start to see a little bit more of a second pass. We refine these further, and we're really just making something that looks as simple as a bench, right? These things are really important for us so that they can tell more of a tale, and we can go through and kind of get them into the environment.
Yep.
And even though it seems simple, we start to put in a lot of the color blocking and establish these assets. Why I'm showing you this very simple prop is because every single layer of our game goes through this process, from blocking out the environment to making sure that the assets that we are making are cool. As you kind of go through, we start to add in the gore, the grit, the grime, the horror.
Yeah.
Oh, the horror. And then, of course, as always, in this true killing floor fashion, blood, guts, entrails, gore. And this prop really does go through a process just to tell a tale. And though it may not be the most exciting and fascinating thing you've seen today, it does go through and make sure that we are giving you guys a really, really visceral experience.
When we spoke about putting this panel together, that was something Misty and I were talking about, like how do we communicate this to players, like, coming from our content, and I know there's a lot of you that might make games or want to make games or into modding, like thinking about things from a simple step process and building upon there is what I loved about these images. And also, like you're going to see Misty's going to show you how it applies to the big picture. But what I love here is it really showcases our really talented environment art team and Misty's capabilities, where even a bench in our game has like a level of love and attention where it's not just a bench, but since it's in a prison, it has these little rings where people would have been chained to it. This poor guy's spleen is spilled out there, and the way the blood texture is there, I'm sure he's fine. He's going to be all right. Yeah, if a medic gets over there and revives him, we'll be fine. So, yeah, I love the work that Misty and her team have done.
It's super fun to be able to go through and like fill out these spaces. So why that's important is we do take those steps into consideration for every map that we build. For example, if you take a look at the images, you see a blockout that the level designers will provide to us. We get the gameplay space, they make it fun, and then it's our job to make it pretty cool, and obviously, horror. Another good example of this is we got this room, it was delivered to us with two simple props inside of it, and they're like, it's a torture space, and they're melting bodies, and, all the fun stuff. And so with this particular challenge, we were given that kind of whole, like, make it smell bad, make it visceral. And so if you see the translation of that, our team goes through and works really hard to give you guys that experience. Kind of stepping through again, this was one of my favorite shots. We were provided a blank room with a chair in it. And it was like, what is that space? What are we going to do here? And the fun part of this was the challenge of making this feel horror, but because gameplay is so king in our project, we want to make sure that you can still play around, get around these, not get stuck on stuff. That's super important for how fast-paced our game is. But we still want to be able to give you that horror experience and tell a tale.
There's some really fun moments in this space too, because like we're kind of walking in where the door is like just behind us, and the way that light is set up, where like Dan, our lighting artist, and AK set it up, you'll see the shadow of Zeds before you see them. So it definitely feels very foreboding, and definitely a space that I'm like, I want to get out of this room pretty quickly, or shoot that pipe and set everyone on fire in the room.
Kill.
Vai ser divertido.
Yeah, so another part of our game is the holdout locations, where you saw a tight corridor. Those things tell the story. These are nice for gameplay, making sure that we're supporting the team, allowing you to be able to kite around sets, get through these spaces, and still kind of have a really good experience.
Yeah, if you see a zip line or a turret, it's probably a usually halfway decent holdout location.
Yeah. And then again, we wanted to go through and give you some spaces that feel a lot more gritty, dark, or taking it in that direction.
There's a bunch of poop in the shot, and you just can't see it. Sorry, I said it. That was another very weird meeting. Because Jared, what's the one stat that gave
So, I know some of you out there probably know this, but for the rest of you, Killing Floor 3 is missing something that every other Tripwire developed game has. Can you guess what it is?
Más. Tú sabes que puede ser, ¿verdad?
It's a toilet
no one wanted to say
filled
that
with
loud.
poop.
Yeah, it's poop.
Killing Floor 3 has now
Tú
fixed
sabes
this
que
issue.
puede ser,
I have no
¿verdad?
idea why the toilet would still be full like decades later, but
Ahora ni
maybe
cerrar
the
el
plumbing
evento
went
web
first
preguntar.
before the paint started to peel. So
I blame
yeah,
insecurity.
there's really like if you peek into each one of those cells,
Só estão
it's either like this
mostrando
disgusting mattress
uma nova DLC
that like
aqui
somebody
de
died on,
juego,
or like
uma
a
nova
really
DLC.
disgusting toilet. So thank you.
Novo
Misty.
evento que,
You know,
que
You're
vai
very
haver.
skillful.
The environment, our
The legacy
team,
Yes.
continues.
É painel.
we aim to please. So another holdout location. So as you kind of see
Del
through
juego
these
Killing
shots, you're
Floor
kind of going
3.
deeper and deeper into the underbelly of this facility, and we wanted to provide some interesting story. So
Yeah, you're going to notice with this map, one of the things that's really cool is we
Pues,
use
mire
the
la hora que
analogy of an
son
onion. Because you're
las
starting
9
in
y
this
7
jungle
más o
that's like
menos.
very
Da
inspired
para mí
by
que le va más
so I
3.
got super excited about it. It's inspired by Predator a lot, right?
Wow.
And then when you kind of peel that layer of the onion off and you
Poder
go
terminar
deeper
la
inside,
fecha
you're
que yo
going to see this
quería.
dilapidated prison. But if you go inside
Buenísimo.
even deeper, that's when
Y
you're going to
mañana
find this kind of
solamente
whole cryo prison,
hago
which will lead into that Operation Breakout.
Lo que faltaren.
We'll spoil some of that NDA here in a moment, but
Correcto.
speaking of, a lot of the things too, like we
No me
talked
dé
about
sueño.
building the assets, we've talked about putting them into the environment, building the gameplay space. We also like to
Sorry.
do a lot of props and gameplay
Nea
support that are like
público, que no
more
quiere que
Easter egg
dormir
and
el público,
storytelling.
tiene que ver el
A really
público.
good example, you'll see the classic Horzine logo. This
bueno.
kind of helps us
Ahí me
Aquí,
silencio.
tell the
Chao.
aquí
tale
en la
of those
live te
places
voy a
been
decir
there
algo
for
antes de
a
que te
while.
vayas.
A
A
little
mutear
throwback
de
to
nuevo.
that, which is nice. It'll give you a
¿Qué?
good timeline for some things that may be revealed
La
shortly.
Yeah.
hija de mi
Horton's been
padre,
torching people for like decades in this space.
con
So
otra señora
it's
llamada
not a friendly
Mariana,
place.
I was going to say, who out there
Ya que
knew
tu
that
video.
Horzine was a bad company who did bad things?
Ah, bueno.
Yeah, right.
That is surprised any of you didn't think so. All right.
Well,
Ah,
it
eso
is
sí
kind
lo
of like,
comparto.
but I do see like there's a DJ thing, but then also somebody melting. So it's either like it's a great time for someone or like awful for someone else.
Buenísimo.
Or it's an awful time for someone very special.
Ahora que
Yes.
lo compartan.
Yeah, we will spoil that in a second. We'll just
Al de
say.
YouTube, ¿verdad?
But yeah,
Si
so we
tú
do a lot
buscas
of these things,
Mariana
and one of the cool
Puglielli, la vas a
things that we've
encontrar.
kind of talked about is Easter eggs and those hints. Our game is very fast-paced. You're definitely usually
tú la vas a
running train,
seguir.
like, cannot be annihilated working with your team.
Todo es
But we still like to
posible.
incorporate story and give you guys some of the lore.
Misty, I heard this
Ella
character
es
in the
diseñadora de
screenshot, Bob, was one of
interiores.
your favorites in the entire game.
I really love Bob. The moment that I went into this environment and this character was being melted down, my team did a fantastic job. The character team did a fantastic job. Super excited.
I was gonna move Bob at one point, and the team almost lost it on me. It was the first time, like,
I-
are you out of your mind? Like, yo, okay, all
And then
right.
I opened up the map and he was gone.
Yes.
And because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were
yeah.
blocking some stuff out, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, where did he go?
Hopefully, you guys. It's like our version of Buster from MythBusters. I think you're just gonna see Bob like everywhere. So
A
you might get
trinket.
a weapon trinket of Bob. We'll see. So maybe he'll, maybe a medic could heal him back to reality. That guy does not look healthy though.
He produces his own human syrup.
He does.
He's had some bad days.
Yeah, so just kind of moving forward with this, I would love to be able to show you a fly-through of the environment and showcase the hard work that the environment team has been doing. So
Anda para
This
cubrir
is
los
another
dos
video made by our
de
capture
buenas.
artist, Thiago, who is
Ajá.
highlighting the work of a lot of people, from Misty and her team our level design team. You guys previously met Chris Goodwin at the PAX East panel. You have lighting, you have art direction, you have game design. This is very much a group of people putting a lot of thought and effort into bringing this space to life. Once again, this is just a work in progress. This is not even final lighting. You're going to see us experimenting with weather.
Yes. Something that I think it would be kind of cool to touch on is that we are experimenting with weather in the new Killing Floor maps.
And as the preview continues, you'll see we get deeper and deeper into this facility.
Yeah, you're gonna need a tetanus shot hanging out here.
I hope you can smell how terrible this place smells.
I could assume this part of the prison may be a little bit abandoned.
Yeah, no one's really working there too much anymore these days. That guy's definitely not in the corner there, who's now a puddle. You will see some return of like barrels and pipes and turrets, so things that you enjoy in the map, everything from like the fan. I will not spoil this one, but there is a new kind of like map-specific multi-tool trap that you can utilize in a particular space. I'll let you guys find that when you're able to play it. But we're always giving you different ways to kind of interact with the world and kill Zeds.
Cryopods are very special as well.
Yeah, there's definitely some secrets hidden in those.
So thank you for taking the time and listening through this. Something that I'd like to say is thank you to the environment art team for working really hard, and the tech art team. They always support us. But now that you've seen it, you guys want to see it in action.
Yeah, you guys probably just want to see gameplay, right?
You want to see?
Okay, all right. Do that. I got one back there.
Gameplay, quero ver gameplay. Vamos lá.
So once again, this is utilizing those new guns. This is running around that space. You can see how husks are still deploying in the world. You can see how dense the jungle gets, so I highly suggest turning on your flashlight. Thiago did here. You got to watch out for some of the destructible lights. Sirens can take those out. But then once again, it's kind of that risk versus reward where it's like when you go inside of some of these tighter spaces, it might be illuminated more, but you are definitely closer to the action there. See, that siren's going to definitely push you deeper. That tunnel is awesome because it's got a bunch of the fire pipes, so I highly suggest utilizing that area as well.
Matar zombies.
I particularly like this space too because it feels uncomfortable. It feels gritty. It feels like you.
Yeah.
If you go through this.
Well, like one thing that's actually really interesting is just even from a gameplay standpoint, like we want you guys to work together when you're playing co-op, right? Like we don't want you to just run off. So like designing a space that feels uncomfortable, that like I wouldn't want to just walk around that place by myself. So like Misty and her team visually creating that kind of vibe is really helpful.
So you want to bring a friend to help you explore this space, right?
You would want to bring a friend, so I think some of you guys that are fans would be very happy to see that DJ Scully is officially returning. Now, if you guys have watched our live streams, if you watched previous panels, like we have talked about this character, but I wanted to give an update on him. Literally, this character just finished their high poly mesh. That's what you see here. So this is when our modeling team, we're working with this fantastic modeler named Evgeny. Evgeny has brought this new version of DJ Scully to life. But the thing that I want to really confirm is this is DJ Scully. If you're looking at cryo prison, maybe he didn't fall to the fates of those acid baths and become human syrup. So you have the ability to basically play as a new specialist and use that specialist with any of the perks that you have seen to this point.
I was going to say, Brian, I think we have many members in the community who will have one question that we'll ask you right now then. Is Robert returning as the voice of DJ Scully?
He is, so to really reconfirm that this is the original, that voice actor has come back and is actually, I think, working right now with our lead writer, Matt Enton, recording lines. So
Dois eventos.
I think you would like to respond
para
to that
olhar aqui na tela. Eu não vou lhe dizer quais são.
Thanks, buddy.
Para 22 e
We did not know,
24.
like, because we kind of like took some
Em sequência, eu vou gravar hoje
questions from the community of what your favorite lines were, and
sequência.
thanks, buddy, is what you guys love about DJ Scully. So don't worry, that is in there. There's a bunch of classic lines. There's new
nós
stuff
vamos
as
montar uma desse aqui,
well.
então
We'll talk
fica
a little bit
fácil.
about season 2 more in a minute. But I think the big thing is if we're giving you new specialists to play as, we also need to give you new challenges to fight against. And you guys, I feel like are speculating that the next enemy is going to be the Stalker. You saw one of our animators, Caitlin, wearing a mocap suit. You saw this very feminine Zed walking around. Do you want me to just go ahead and confirm what the next Zed is going to be in Season 2?
Não somos fanáticos de videojuego. Só somos
Let's go ahead and
fanáticos
show you guys. There
de
it
single
is.
player.
Dude,
Esse é multiplayer.
invisibility at its finest. This might be Erictron's best concept ever, all right? I can confirm that in that jungle video, there could have been like 4 or 5 of them walking around, right? So, all right, that's our panel. Thanks so much. Good night, everyone. Sorry, that is like awful. You can clearly tell I'm a dad, and this would not be doing Eric any sort of justice. Let's show you what the new Stalker looks like, right? All right, so you guys are the first people to ever see this concept publicly, and I really want to take a minute and kind of talk about it, what it means to upgrade a Zed. We really try to approach things not only from a creative design standpoint, meaning like what is the design of this enemy doing, but from a narrative standpoint as well. Like Horzine has had time to perfect these designs. So what would they have done? So everything from communicating why does she cloak? How does she cloak? And she has these little lenses in her skin that can kind of basically take a picture of the surroundings around her and kind of project them out. You see that the face is peeled back, showing a more menacing set of teeth. You'll even see this like giant data spike. Once again, kid of the 80s, growing up, watching RoboCop and just seeing, you know, RoboCop just punch a data spike through Clarence Barber's head. We're just like, dude, we got to give her that weapon. Even her eyes roll back. So let's talk about when we go from the concept phase, we then go into the modeling phase, and our senior character artist, Hammy, has been working on this character and putting a lot of love and attention into bringing this monstrous creature to life. Outside of being inspired by nerdy things from the 80s and obviously the previous versions of this Zed, we're also looking at like elements of mythology. So one thing that we noticed, like with having her face totally just monsterfied, it lost some of that essence from KF2. And so one of the mythology things we looked at was like a succubus. She's very curvy, she's very feminine. So at a distance, when you see her cloaked, it is this kind of like sultry figure walking towards you, but obviously she has horrible intentions and just wants to drive that data spike to your head. I didn't bring it because I don't want to spoil it too much, but like you guys have seen how certain Zeds can execute you, like where the Scrake will literally just slam his chainsaw through you and kind of just rip you in half. Dude, the Stalker execution is wild, where she basically like uncloaks, climbs on top of you, pulls out the data spike, and just shivs you like 4 times. It's aggressive. HR was definitely looking at me very weird when I was like very giddy showing that to the team. So big thanks you to Devin. Sorry, we're going to keep that one a little secret though as we continue to work on it. This was hot off the presses. Fun story. I stuck this in the deck in our last rehearsal. Like these guys didn't even know when we were rehearsing it. I saw this come online. I think it was like super late Thursday. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. It really goes with what we just showed in the Stalker. Get it in the deck like now. So big thank you, Chris Brown, one of our UI artists, getting this in the deck just really helped. This is a concept from Hakab. Hakab did a fantastic job of not only starting to explore what the Stalker looks like semi-cloaked, but the other thing that I want to point out is like, where is this?
Yeah, that was my first question. I'm like, this seems familiar, but I don't recognize the room.
Okay.
That was also my first question.
Yeah. Misty's like, who's building this space, right? So here's the cool thing about with Seasons, right? Like you guys have the list of maps that is already available to you now. You're going to get this jungle prison that you're going to be able to explore as well. But there's going to be certain maps that will also open up with new rooms, right? So this, I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be, but a part of this season assignment is looking for DJ Scully and exploring more what's going on with Horzine and what's going on with Moorcroft, and that really made us look at like adding extra rooms to pre-existing maps on top of giving you whole new maps as well. So this right here is a combination of a new Zed, new space, new storytelling elements that when I saw it, I was just like, dude, that's got to get in the deck. I want to show fans immediately. I cannot just post that on the internet or like my Instagram right now. Put it in the deck. We'll show everyone at PAX.
That's awesome.
So we went through everything you're going to see through the rest of the year. But once again, there is a lot more to come. And this will be the first time we're really going into some detail on it. So let's talk.
E é a primeira vez que a produtora
Yeah, for sure.
2026.
do jogo,
Yeah,
o
so
Gure
just so even that
traz
you guys
evento,
know,
que eu tô
everything we
lembrando.
showed there, that's not everything.
Dedicado,
Right? There's
né,
more.
ao jogo, né?
We want to keep some secrets. We want to surprise you with certain things in game, and also there's things that we're still iterating on. I know you guys data mine stuff. You found the Bloodwing. It needed more time in the oven, right? There's stuff out
Ah,
there.
que detalhe.
We're cooking up at a lot of different stuff. So with that being
Toquinho
said about the
show.
future, let's look at what
Não
2026
termina os
is
eventos.
working on as well.
Futebol, volta lá no canal.
I've made this
Volta
reference
assim.
a lot. I'm a giant comic book nerd. There is a lot of comic influence within Killing Floor 3. Like even the team Nightfall is very much inspired by BPRD, G.I. Joe, things like that. When you guys saw that initial roadmap, you saw some features that you were questioning, like what's a collectible music system? What's a comic book viewer? Well, in our supply pass, we are working on adding, now you guys know we have like our paid supply pass, and then we also have the free track. You simply play the game and you can access that, and it is cosmetic only items. Well, one of the things that we're working on is a comic book system that will be a part of that free track as well. So if you guys want to know more about the lore and the world that we're building, that's what this comic book provides us with, right? This is just a little preview. We have multiple of these comics. Like this one right here explores the very first mission with the very first team members of Nightfall. So you see Nakata, you see Mr. Foster, and Devlin, the three original, and how did they basically size up against the first time they ever fought against the Impaler. So I'm just really excited getting these comics in front of you. If you guys remember, like in the 90s, there was these Kenner alien action figures, and they would come with like a little Dark Horse comic inside of them. I'm really dating myself here. So any other 40-year-olds out there, you'll be excited about that. That's where this inspiration came from. So once again, this will be in the free track. You guys will have access to this, and it just helps build that world and build that lore.
But Brian, what about new perks?
So Gunslinger, we did confirm that, and just to let you guys know, we're not looking at what's just ahead of us, but we're looking well down the road. So our weapons team is well into play on, once again, creating guns that you are very familiar with, and all new guns that you've never seen before, right? Once again, we're gonna get to another gun that would probably break your wrist, trying to fire that one. So yeah, big props to our weapons team. They've really brought those to life. I've seen very early animations that are looking awesome of just reloading while dual wielding your gunslinger. I think you guys are gonna be really happy when that perk comes out in the near future.
And new locations.
So we've teased Arctic Station. Once again, dating myself, big John Carpenter fan. I love the thing. It's one of the reasons why I do this. Misty, you actually have teammates working on this right now already, right?
Correct, yeah, we have this map in development. We try to keep multiple maps in development. Similar thing, we've got traps that are being
all new
made.
traps. If you needed a giant laser to cook Zeds, we got you covered. And then, so once again, you guys have seen some of these earlier concepts, but no one has seen any of these. And especially this next image, nobody has seen this. And I just want to say big thanks to our CEO, Matt. He was very much like, you have to show this. I'm not going to explain anything about it. Very, 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 very little. Like I joked about you guys data mining. You started to try to uncover what is the Dread Zone. You've heard stuff about the Rook. You heard stuff about the Scavenger. All I'm going to say is, when you guys look at that roadmap and it said new Zed and it said new enemies, we want to introduce a new faction into the game, right? There's going to be this war between Nightfall and Horzine, and then what is Emmanuel Moorcroft doing? What is he doing with Meyer? What are these new enemies? Where have they come from? Do they fight with Horzine? Do they fight with Nightfall? We're going to leave that kind of ambiguous right now, but I think this image right here does a very good job of just kind of starting to tease what the future of Killing Floor 3 could look like.
Don't melt the ice.
Yeah, no, if that thing melted, I have a feeling that it could still do a good bit of damage just based on its scale alone. So yeah, I'm very excited to see all of the YouTube videos out there that are speculating what this is. I will just give you one last little thing of saying cosmic horror. Start looking into that. If you have never been exposed to Lovecraft or things like that, or things older than time, it can get pretty friggin' terrifying.
So with that being said, we've got some time to take questions from you, and I believe we have some mics on either side of the room if anybody would like to ask us any questions. please
Yeah, if
step
you guys
up
have
to one.
any questions on the stuff that we've shown you, what the future looks like, I'm not spoiling what that creature in the ice is, so I'll just divert that one. But yeah, we would love to hear from you guys.
Hi. So one of the things that kind of threw me off when it first came out was there was no like server browser to promote like custom maps, and I did see that it was in the roadmap. But like, is there any plans as to when that would be added?
Some of that stuff is really based on working with our production team and evaluating feedback from community on like what are the most hot topic items, right? That's where it's like we were able to identify like perks and specialists, right? So I would say everything from modding to text chat and some of the things like server browser, we're definitely valuing that feedback and working with production and community to kind of basically stack rank those things and which one is coming when kind of the time fits with what we have.
Okay.
It's a lot comes down to how long does it take to make each item and how can we fit that into the schedule.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question.
Yeah, thank you.
So I know y'all are busy doing all this kind of updates and everything. I've noticed that a lot of the weapons have rails on the bottom. Have y'all thought about bayonets or chainsaw bayonets at all?
I can confirm, because I think I semi-confirmed it with someone, that we have, I think in the last PAX panel, I showed like the lever action. And I might have accidentally leaked somewhere online like a trench gun.
Okay.
There is a bayonet mod that is in the very early stages of development. So if you needed to shoot something and then stab it, you'll have that capability.
Sounds perfect.
Awesome.
That
cool.
works for me.
Yeah, you definitely seem like he has run into, I need to be able to shoot and stab at the same time.
It's my gameplay style too.
Hello, I have a two-part question.
Cool.
Are you doing a Halloween event? And are you working on a content creator program where we get Twitch drops and stuff like that? So
I will handle the first part of that question. I would say that the first group of updates that you've seen are really focused on the in-world story that we're trying to build and establish for KF3. Where's Horzine going? Where's Nightfall going? Where's Dr. Emmanuel Moorcroft going? But I will tell you, we have a very early level design block out and a whole creative intent written on our first seasonal update. When that will happen, we're still working on that, and I don't want to totally spoil it, but it is definitely very different from what you've seen and definitely a new take on those seasonal events. So they will be in there. We're just working our way to those. And then the second part, content creator?
Yeah, we'll definitely have some Twitch drop stuff in the works for these later updates coming in the near future. Yeah, so stay tuned.
great, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I just have a quick question. I was watching a lot of the gameplay you guys were showing, and I noticed a lot more consistent resource drops from Zed kills.
Yeah.
Is that coming in a new quality of life?
So actually, if you look at even, we had a hot fix, what was it, like Wednesday?
I was going to say it's like
the 27th.
three days ago.
Yeah, that update already has, like, we've seen you guys are still wanting a little more biosteel, but there has been a decent pass at that. And once again, every time we add a new gun, every time we add a new Zed or a new map, it's like this giant thing of jello. And when you jiggle it, it kind of all jiggles. So yeah, like we'll constantly be working with our design teams. Like they do a fantastic job of looking at your guys' feedback and being like, players are getting too much of this, not enough of this. How do we balance that out? So yeah, that recent hot fix, if you haven't played recently, jump on. You might be able to get a little more biosteel. The Vulcan hasn't been adjusted yet, so maybe you can use that and get even a little more. Don't spam it too much, but yeah,
yes.
we'll keep adjusting that.
You can expect a lot more balance updates, even in our hot fixes and in the larger updates that are coming. Just the hot fix will have some more critical ones, while the wider breadth will be in that first content pass.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, just a quick question. I was just wondering why there's no welder in Killing Floor 3, like the actual being ability to hold down doors and stuff like that.
Yeah, so for sure, there's just certain things that we wanted to look at for new tools. There have been versions that we've talked about, but we wanted to try something with the door bar that even that I think we want to iterate on. But one of the things that I would say is like starting to utilize the door bar, and actually a lot of people don't know this, but you can use the multi-tool to actually repair that. So it kind of almost acts as like a little mini welder. And there's also another pass that we want to do on that. But it's just kind of trying different tools for different things. But once again, I do think that is a bit of feedback that we are evaluating. Like, is that a new tool that could happen in the future? Potentially, you know?
Hi, with DJ Scully returning, do you know if his quote where he says gun bam style is going to be returning as well? And if so, can that be removed?
We will make sure and note that with community here and give it to our design team.
I think I've heard that like 1,500 times in my life, more than I need to.
Okay.
So I'll be happy to tell you that you may have recently seen another musical-themed demon hunting group doing stuff.
Oh, no.
And DJ is the original kind of musical-themed demon-type hunting guy.
Sure.
And I'm sure he's got some words to say.
All right, big fan. Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey there. I actually have a couple of questions also.
Cool.
I was curious about the next season pass and kind of what the theming would be for kind of how the costumes and aesthetics are going to be.
Yeah, so I can actually just totally break into it and tell you about a bunch of different stuff that we got planned. I
10 minutos.
also used to do character art, so I think a lot about how I look in a game, right? It's really important that anything in our supply pass is gameplay, not messing with it like at all. It is just cosmetic only. That was one of the big things that we really wanted. We want to try different themes, right? We want to give you guys options. So like we've given you some weapons that are very grounded in reality, like that you just saw. We've given you some near future weapons. We've given you stuff that look like laser guns. Basically, there are options for you. We want to do that same thing with our character art. There are also very early sketches and ideas for universal cosmetics so that any of the specialists could wear a very particular thing. That's very similar to stuff that we've seen in KF2. There's stuff with the Arctic map that character art is also doing some very themed skins that would fit within that space. So like for me, I love kind of like role playing when I play a game. So it's like, if Misty and I were going on a mission to the Arctic Research Station, I would put on that like Arctic camo and stuff like that. We'll probably be sharing some stuff. We're going to be doing, actually Mason, one of our marketing guys are out here. We're going to be doing more frequent streams like what you saw Jared and I do recently. And we're going to do some pretty art-centric ones that'll be similar to this, where we'll be alluding to what you'll see in the future. The big thing I would say is we're going to look for options for players, right? Just giving you a variety of different ways to express yourself on the battlefield.
And I do want to add that any of those continuing credits that you've earned can be applied immediately to the next pass when it drops.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there's like no FOMO with our supply pass either, right? So like if you guys come in a year later and you wanted to go through all the supply passes, you're more than welcome to. And once again, there is a free track, and then you have one that is just paid but cosmetic only.
And then the other quick question is, how are you guys feeling with the balancing for the boss waves? Because there's still a lot of controversy with the Impaler, for example.
Totally agree.
They're being worked on.
Yeah, I might have been one shot by the Queen Crawler the other day. That was definitely like, okay, we got to balance that one. But no, our design team, like everything in the game, is just constantly watching you guys play, playing with you guys online as well, and then our community team does a fantastic job of taking feedback as well, and just once again kind of like looking at all of it, looking at our internal play tests, looking at play tests with partners, and just kind of valuing that feedback to kind of get the perfect balance.
Awesome, good to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys have an awesome game.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Thanks for being out.
The guy on the other mic can go first.
Oh, what's up? Hey there.
Hello.
Thank you.
I like how you definitely deferred to the guy with the sword. Like, the guy with the sword can go next.
Will Badass Santa make a return for the holidays?
I am not totally sure about that. I will say that we are exploring, even in seasonal updates, when we get to that point, what do cosmetics look like then? I will say there is a Bad Santa Easter egg in the game if you haven't found it yet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. Yeah, we're definitely tipping our hats when it's appropriate and where it's at, but we will make sure and add that to the feedback list as well. Thank you.
All right, so I have two questions. One's pretty short, one's kind of a bit long-winded. The short question is that I've noticed that we have done like 5 rounds plus a boss wave. Is there any sort of like future endeavor where we're going to go back to like the KF2 where you had your 4, 7, and 10 rounds?
There's design docs being worked on right now.
In fact, there's a poll that I need to push out more widely that asks you, the players, what you would like to see more quickly. Longer amounts of rounds or more amounts of difficulties.
And then my second question is more of like, it's a personal matter between me and my group that plays KF3.
Cool.
We've kind of gotten to a point where we've found our hold spots and have our strategies, and it's gotten to a point where it feels like we don't need the field medic that much. So
Okay.
Field medic has felt very underused, and the only point we've needed a field medic is when things have gone completely foobar and there is already no hope of recovery.
Yeah.
So like, is there any plans to try to make field medic be more, I'm not sure, like versatile or powerful, or just be able to be used more?
I think for me, looking at some of the balance changes that I've seen, like the biomorphic projector and stuff like that, like there was a pass done very early on where a lot of the guns had like a default healing element to it. That once again, I think our design team will kind of keep their eye on the prize and how do we, every time, like when we add a new perk, what are we going to have to do to the other perks and things like that.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
think we might only be able to do one more quick question.
Esse
And
gato tá
then we have to
roubando
do
minha live,
our
esse gato
giveaway.
aqui.
I will say that we are going to stick around. So it's just because we got to leave this room, but we will stick around and we can move outside. So if you guys have more questions, you want us to sign your sticker packs so that you guys are here, anything like that, feel free to stick around. But we want to give away some cool stuff as well. So let's do another question and then we'll do our raffle.
I hate to be the last question for this. Played a lot of Killing Floor 1, a lot of Killing Floor 2. Ninja's cool.
Okay.
I've heard talks that Zerker is coming back.
Mhm.
Is there anything at all you can tell me, maybe 2026, or should I just keep waiting and praying?
I would say our main focus is for 2026 as a new perk goes is Gunslinger. Gunslinger is a wild amount of work. So when you just animation wise, like having to handle reloads in two hands and that whole thing, our big thing was like, if you guys aren't aware, like the martial artist was one of the perks that was supposed to be added for KF2. So we knew we wanted to do classic returning perks, but also new perks for KF3. And that's one of the things that moved Ninja over Zerker.
Ninja.
And we did a live stream where
Samurai.
we did kind of confirm this a little bit. The team's focus is on Gunslinger. But from a creative standpoint, what our thought is on a Berserker and the Ninja is one is very slice and dice, and one is very smash and go, right? Like if you want to cut someone's head off, go Ninja. If you want to smash someone's head in, that's where Berserker is going to go.
And I do
Okay.
really badly.
We will make sure that you are able to do that. Yeah, we've had many, many conversations, and like it's funny, there's times that we want to take polls. I don't think we need to take a poll that a lot of people want Berserker after Gunslinger, so we got you.
All right.
All right, let's do a raffle. Trent, what are we raffling off here?
We've got some awesome stuff from our friends at Alienware and a couple Killing Floor 3
mouse
kits
e
with some awesome, like,
teclado.
swag gifts in them.
All right, so you guys should have
E
your
pena que eu não
tickets.
ganhei
You're
esse
gonna call out
mouse e
which one
teclado
we're
para
going
poder
for
dar na
first.
Let's start with the mouse.
Okay. All right, who's getting the Alienware mouse? Get ready.
All right. I think it should be fine with the last four numbers. I think we're all starting the same. So does anybody have 2, 3, 4, 5?
Oh, that guy's walking away with a mouse. Here, I got you.
Congratulations. And now, one Alienware Pro Gaming keyboard. Yep.
I'm going to do my best van of white for you guys.
They don't know who that is.
2350. 350.
It's heavy, so it feels expensive.
Number, going to a new number. 2323.
Oh, this?
All right, Mr. Bryan.
We've got two.
Trent, can you tell everybody what they'll win in the Mystery Killing Floor 3 press box?
There's an awesome giant KF3 mouse mat in there. There's
Socks.
there are some socks.
A little lunchbox.
Yeah, there's
Um lunchbox, uma mochila.
Socks. I think there's like a pint glass.
yeah, there's some fun stuff in this one.
Yeah, this is
A med kit.
I'm looking for 2380.
Whoa.
And for our last and final prize, the same press kit.
All right, here's the last one. I love that that's the amount of hand
All right. 2333, repeating forever.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah. Can everybody give Brian a round of applause for being such a great
thank you.
¿Qué pasó?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow, maravilla, ganaron.
Thank you guys so much. All joking aside, like I love that you guys came out. Those of you that are online, but yeah, spending your time with us, playing the game with us. As Jared said earlier, like we are incredibly committed to continuing to build this game with you guys. It's been awesome, and we cannot thank you enough. Am I going to get teary-eyed? I don't know, maybe. But yeah, seriously, thank you guys so much. Thank you to the team at Tripwire. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you once again. I can only echo what Brian said.
Keep
your feedback coming. Keep your reports coming. We know there's things that aren't as ideal as they should be. We're working on them. Help us help you. And we'll keep working towards some awesome new content as Brian and Misty have done a great job of showing us of what's coming in the near future and the not so near future.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll be hanging around outside too for a little bit. I know we had a few questions, so feel free to grab any of us, and thank you so much.
Bye!
E aí, galera, chegamos ao fim desse evento.
Killing Floor 3, The Road to More, saindo
E
da
chegamos,
tela inteira. Menu
lamentavelmente, no final, mas
voltando.
com uma presença maravilhosa.
Principal Marco Clique.
E o gato chegou para me avisar também, né, gato? Chegou aqui na PC.
Entrando em tela inteira.
Deu-me água, fez a live,
Killing Floor 3, The Road to More Guns.
Não quer não, hein? E Natita, meu amor, como está tudo lá? Não. Busy. Busy não quer dizer nada para a Nath. Então, chegamos ao final da nossa live. Evento do Killing Floor 3. E muito obrigado por me acompanhar, a minha Nath. Pois Nath não foi minha tradutora hoje, porque eu não traduzo, porque eu não sabia inglês ainda. Se fosse inglês, eu traduziria. Então, ficando por aqui. Valeu, falou. E eu fui. Natita, meu amor. Do turno.
Iniciar janela.
¿Qué pasó?
Chegamos ao fim, né, amor? Chegamos ao fim, né?
64
ok.
2 executando o Windows.
Tem mais um evento.
Valeu.
E nos vemos no próximo vídeo. Amanhã, né, amor?
Telegram 2.
Sim, senhor.
Interromper transmissão.
Então, como que faz?
Ahí llegó el otro, sentí.
Todo mundo participando da live hoje, né, galera? Todo mundo participando.
Sí, todo sin quilombo.
Então, como é, chula?
Valeu, falou, yo fui.
Tchau.
Chao, chao.